Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is a reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, whatever. Now, my readings have a past and a present, so if the past and the present don't fit, then this reading is probably not for you. If you are watching your sun sign, then check your moon, ascendant, rising, North Node, Venus, etc. There's a link in the description for you to figure them out if you don't know them. It's well worth a read. And on that note, I will follow up periodically with sun signs combined with a moon or rising, such as Sagittarius Sun, Taurus Moon or Rising. So subscribe to the channel, click the notifications bell to keep your eyes open for them. Alternatively, there are also some great other readers on YouTube, so if I don't resonate right now, come back next month and have a look at them in the meantime. Bear in mind that in a general reading, roles can be reversed, time is not absolute, soon can be a relative term, and please do not make decisions on the basis of what I or any other reader says. Use your words to consider our options, sure, but make up your own mind. This is a tool for reflection and analysis that does not and should not supersede your own intuition and your own heart. Which I think you're going to be using quite a lot of at the moment, Sagittarius, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now, when I perform a reading for my clients, I ask them to hold a question in their mind. I don't want to know it, obviously, but and it's YouTube, you can't tell me. But the question should be there. So if you need to pause the video, feel free. Identify all the questions that are around you at the moment. Focus on one of them. Be aware of all of them, but focus on one. Energy in, energy out. But bear in mind the cards will answer what they want to answer and not what you and I think is important. So on that note, let me get to the cards and bring them up. I've already shuffled them. There we go. And you should see the shuffle video appearing here in a moment. Hopefully, I had technical difficulties with the shuffle video. You wouldn't think so, but hey-ho. Now then, where's my wand? It's not easy for you at the moment, is it, Sagittarius? There's you've come from quite an abundant and fertile time, but now there's difficulties. But I feel that you are staying focused on one aim, one way forward. It's like you have quite a lot of options at the moment. You're already aware of all these different options at the moment, but no, your mind's made up. As you can see from the shuffle video, depending on how far it's got, I've got clarification cards under the decks. So I want to head for this one. Yeah, your mind's made up. Four of Cups here, where I'm seeing the one cup is being the focus, come what may, clarified by the star, the listening to inner wisdom and judgment, that having decided that this is going to happen. But what is going on for you at the moment? King of Wands, Ace of Swords. So this financial or material hardship that you're going through at the moment, you've started this. You came from, oh, that sounds really accusatory. I'm not dissing you there. I think it was a good idea by the looks of these cards. But you have made things more difficult for yourself by following your inner voice. But hey-ho, that's what inner voices tend to do. Because you had everything. Queen of Cups, 10 of Cups, clarifying the Empress. So, you've come from a very well set up period in your life, whether this is emotionally, whether this is financially, job-wise, relationship-wise, what have you. And you've started to plow forward on an idea that you already have a vision of. And it's caused some issues. And I believe going to cause you some problems as well. I see the coming of somebody to come and make some trouble for you, and I do want to say, Sagittarius, that I hope this isn't you making trouble for yourself by trying to be too protective and too defensive, because you knew what was going to happen by sitting down on this path. And I want to tell you right now that it's a good path to be on. What I'm worried is that you will just decide to give up and go and try something completely different. You don't need to move any great distance, either physically or philosophically, to achieve what you're trying to achieve. It is going to come in time. You've laid the plans out enough for it. Yeah, it's a bit of a balancing act, but it is a wish fulfillment to you. Remember that. But you're having issues now, and you're going to have some issues in the short term. Do not lose faith in your own idea. Now, I always like to clarify the devil card with this deck, because the devil is... Oh, and that's flipped over. So, yeah. What's the point of trying to protect things that you knew you were going to sacrifice by setting your feet on this path? All right? You knew you was going to cut things out. You knew that you were going on an insight that you could see perfectly. Well, the people around you, not so much, but you had already paid for that insight. You'd paid emotionally, and you've paid. There's hurt that taught you some lessons that you are now moving forward with. But again, self-inflicted and not a bad thing. You've just got to be careful that you don't want to have your cake and eat it. Yes, of course, there's a loss on this path that you've set foot on, but you knew that going in. It's like when you buy some property, you tie up all your money in that property, which means you can't go and start a third business because it's tied up in the property. Ignore remortgaging and putting it down as leverage and all that. That my metaphor falls down there. But if you do one thing, you can't do something else. If you have to give something up, you can't then keep it. And you knew you had to give something up. You're deceiving yourself if you think otherwise. And there's a divine coupling here. You are using both sides of your personality to achieve this. This is both intellect and heart. Now, other people see you struggling to keep what you've got, but they're seeing that there is a lot of strength for you to come through it. This is going to come to an end, and it's going to come to an end quite soon if you stick to your guns. It is wish fulfillment to you. There is somebody supporting you, or you are coming across as an incredibly capable person who has planned everything out on your own, and you needed to plan it all out on your own, but you have support around you. What I want you to avoid is shooting off in a completely different direction because you didn't like the cost that you knew you had to pay. It is not too much of a burden, and you do not want to be staying on your own. So that there's a relationship in here somewhere, whether it's a business partnership or whether it's a love relationship, there is somebody supporting you, and let them. Don't alienate them, because you knew what was going to happen. If you alienate them and you go off on your own, you cause yourself pain. I know your urge is to is to go off on your own at the moment, but stick to your first idea. Break your rules where you have to. You knew that there would be a cost. Get on with it. You end up in a better place. If you waver now, I think if this is about a relationship, the relationship will falter and someone else will go and play away. There is you need to focus on the efforts that you've already put in, because you have support from this Queen of Wands here. You are coming into your power, because the final phase, these are like phases of the moon, or where the planets are moving, or Sesame Street today is brought to you by the letter E, you know, different flavors, trends that you're passing through. And the time to act is, well, the time to act is now, but the time that everything comes around is soon. The price will be paid soon, and that's a good thing. Temperance is your card. This is you, Sagittarius, and you end up in the position of the magician. You are defining your role in the world. You are defining who you are. You are using both sides of your personality. You're worried about one aspect of yourself that is showing, but let your intuition have free reign. And I think with people around you, groups wise, let people go play their own games. You don't need to be involved. You have the people with you that you need, or you have the person with you that you need. Let the rest go and play their own games. But if you go off totally on your own, without this partner, friend, whatever, if you go off on your own because you didn't want to pay the price that you've already decided to pay, then it will end badly. Stick to your guns for the time being. Let's have a look where all this is coming from, because I want to take you back to a time in the past where, yeah, you were quite happy on your own. You were doing fine, and your luck changed, and quite possibly for the better. But even then, you learned that there was people that you had to cut out and you had to get rid of. But you've come, like I said, from quite a fertile time. Even though not a tremendously financially prosperous time, you had everything that you needed. And I believe there's a huge emotional and happiness quotient in that. Yeah, you're not happy right now because it's change. But change is often not pleasant, because with any change, there's a death. And I'm really surprised that I haven't seen the death card here. You wait, there'll be more clarifying cards I need to overturn where there'll be the death. Prince of Swords, i.e. you shooting off in this direction that you've decided on doing. So this is the very, very recent past, clarified by the Six of Wands and the Six of Wands, shooting off, feeling victorious, but now you're feeling, oh, should I have done that? Yes. Yes, absolutely you should have done it, because it was too... The domestic home or your interior was getting too affected by some external influence. That's the thing. There's external influences here that are just Don't listen to other people, listen to your partner. That's what they're there for. That's why you chose them. That's why they chose you. Because they're supporting you in this. But you are most definitely coming into your power. The magician, there you go. The magician, clarified by the magician and the Two of Cups. So if this is a relationship reading, yeah, don't worry about losing friends. Go with this new person, but they're not that new. You've just decided to make a commitment to them, and then you've suddenly realized the cost of that commitment. Stick with it, because there's a lot more to come from this. They are good for you. You are good for them. And with their support, the best of you comes out, which now explains this oracle card that jumped out, opening to love. You are growing at the moment. Keep your own counsel right now. You don't have to go, oh my God, what am I doing? What have I done? This is all going wrong. Keep those thoughts to yourself for the time being, because this connection that you've leapt for is growing. Right. You've taken action. You need to stick with action. This is coming to a point of resolution for you. Like I said somewhere here, don't walk away from it. Don't enjoy the new way that you are seeing things. Be receptive and trust the process. Trust the partner, believe it or not. They are giving you a grounding that you haven't necessarily gone for, haven't necessarily had before. The final oracle card, leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. I think you've already leapt, but at the minute you're like Wile E. Coyote, waving your hands, trying to stay exactly where you are before you plummet. Go ahead and plummet. You knew you was going to plummet. You wanted to plummet. That's why you jumped. So plummet. It's fun. You're coming into a really, really good space. So, anything else? No? So if you liked the reading, Sagittarius, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff that basically, hey, I'm new, promote me, help me out. But in the meantime, yeah, do subscribe and click the notifications bell so you know when I've got your next video coming out. And keep your eye open for those sun and moonstroke rising combinations. But in the meantime, stick at it. You've done the right thing. I know it feels really weird right now, but you've done the right thing. You've got the right person with you. Stick at it. All right. Cheers.